Hey everyone, if you are a makeup lover, then you know that tomorrow is the beginning of the big Sephora spring sale for Rouge members. If you are not already a makeup lover or you're just getting into it and you want some makeup recommendations, this video is for you. I'm gonna get into my favorite makeup, skincare, and hair care that is all available at Sephora. This is not an exhaustive list of my favorites. I use products on a regular basis that are available at other retailers. And if you want to find out what those are, I recommend heading over to my Shop LTK page. There's actually a search bar there and you can search for the most interesting things. And when I say interesting, I mean, for instance, if you remember that I wore a green shirt in a video, but you can't remember what video, you can type in the search bar, green shirt, and all the green shirts that I've ever shared will pop up. So if you're looking for specific makeup recommendations, whether it's a product or a brand, you can look over there. I like drugstore, I like high-end, I like middle of the road, I like lots of things. But this video I think is gonna be long and I have a tendency to babble. So we're gonna focus on just what you can find at the Sephora sale. And please watch to the end because I'm gonna tell you whether I think it's even worth shopping the sale or not. Okay, so I've broken it out into categories, and because we have a lot of ground to cover, I'm not gonna get too in-depth into reviews or specifics. By all means, if you have any questions or you want me to expand on something, hit me up in the comments. I will do my best to help you. Let's start with skincare. If you've been around for a while, then you know that my go-to brand for skincare is Colleen Rothschild, but I do like to supplement with other things, and I wanna focus on, like I said, the brands that you can pick up at Sephora. And I do wanna focus primarily throughout this video on some of the higher priced items, because if you're gonna get something at a discount, now's the time to maybe grab something that is maybe a little pricier than you're comfortable normally spending. So the face mask I have used the most. It's been at least a decade. I love the SK2 facial treatment masks. This is the 10-pack. This is the high ticket item. There's a 2-pack as well. I love that they come individually wrapped. So they're great for travel if you're going somewhere for a special occasion. It's also a really good gift idea. If you're planning way ahead, you can break up the pack and gift these individually, maybe as a stocking stuffer. If you wanna look instantly photoshopped, just instantly better, this is the mask. It works on sensitive skin, it works on reactive skin, dry skin, and there's so much extra serum in these masks that I highly recommend after you've used it, fold it back up, put it back in the package, put it in a Ziploc bag, and save it for another time. You could probably get 2 good uses out of each mask. I also want to recommend the higher dose red light mask. I've shared it before. I would have it physically in my hands, except I lent it to a friend of mine. She wanted to know what it was like. Those red light masks work, but you have to use them all the time, and I am constantly forgetting, so I lent it to a friend of mine. This again is a big budget line item, so if you wanted to get 20% off, 15% off, even 10% off, I think this is a pretty good deal. Another mask that I love, I've shared before, is from Clarins. It's their Cryo-Flash cream mask. So this has very similar properties to the SK2. It's not quite as, oh my gosh, what did she do to her skin? But it's pretty close. It's a lot more budget friendly at $80 full price. And I should say that the prices I'm sharing on the screen are the full price because the discount depends on how much money you've spent with Sephora in the previous year. This is really great for especially dry skin. It's instantly cooling, so it's really nice going into the warmer months. And you can get quite a lot of uses out of this. I've used this probably once a week or so, and I have barely made a dent in it. I have 2 moisturizers that I want to recommend. The first is from Biossance. It's their Overnight Rescue. This is actually my second jar. If you have dry skin, you have weird patches, you put this on at night, you wake up with basically refreshed skin. It is incredible. It's a little on the heavier side, so I've loved it during the winter months. I'm not sure if I'll keep using this into the warmer weather, but I'm gonna keep going as long as I can. The other one is also quite heavy, but a little of this goes a very long way, and I've been raving about this one for years. I wish my skin did not love it as much as it does. It is the Creme de la Mer Moisturizing Cream. I mean, there's a reason this has a cult following. I'm starting to get to the bottom of the jar. This is another one I tend to reserve for winter months or if I'm traveling, especially by air travel. A little bit, just like a fingernail amount, can do wonders, at least for my skin. And like I said, you can get this at a discount. It's fantastic. I've specifically linked to the Duo, which already is kind of offered at a discount. You're getting about $100 extra of product for the price. Now let's get to where I don't think the Sephora sale is worth shopping. It kind of depends on the product and the brand. So one of my favorite gradual tanners is from Luxe The Butter. This is one that I buy every year or so from HSN. This is the big guy. This is almost 17 fluid ounces. And right now, HSN is offering 2 of these for basically $50. If you go to the Sephora website, they have one, I'll round up, that's almost 7 ounces. So not even half this size for $38. That makes no sense. Why? Even at a discount, it's still just, it's not even close. So for that, I would go over to HSN. I just want to let you know, if you're looking for a good gradual tanner, don't get it at Sephora. So that's it for skincare. Let's move on to hair care. A line I recently discovered, I've been raving about it. It's Act+Acre, and I have been dealing with hair thinning and all the things. And so anything I can try that's going to help with hair growth and slower shedding, I'm all for. So Act+Acre, I actually used it all up. They have a stem cell with peptides, shampoo, and conditioner. I loved it. I'm still using the 3% stem cell peptide scalp treatment. There's just a little bit left and still loving it. And obviously I highly recommend picking it up when you can grab it at a discount. Another big ticket item that I use every time I dry my hair is the Dyson AirWrap. And I just want to point out that I really only use 2 of the attachments. This one is it does 2 things. It's just the one you use to blow out your hair and remove most of the moisture. There's also a little attachment to get the flyaways, which I always forget to use. And then the one that I use once my hair is about 75–80% dry to just dry it straight like this is this brush attachment. It comes with a lot more attachments, but these are the ones I use. I swear by. I know it's expensive, but I do not feel compelled to go get a professional blowout with this thing. I can approximate it pretty closely myself. So if you consider the amount of time that I save in doing my hair and the amount of money I would save on possible blowouts, that's a little girl math, but we're gonna go with it. Another hair tool that if I'm gonna curl my hair, this is what I reach for. You've heard me rave about this. This is the Ionic long barrel curling iron. This is the 1.25 inch. I also have the 1 inch. I think they have larger ones as well. If you struggle with using a curling iron and curling your hair, the key for this, which makes it so user-friendly, one is it's easy to grab. This part does not get hot, so you can use 2 hands, but also the barrel. And so it's not on. It's a lot easier to grab the hair and maneuver it through and feel comfortable. So if you've struggled with curling your hair with a curling iron, give this one a shot, especially, like I said, if you can grab it in the sale. And then one specific styling product that tends to get pricey and I absolutely love, and I think I need to add it to my cart, I think I'm done, is the Oribe Anti-Humidity Spray. In fact, let me see if there's any left because like my hair is expanding as we sit here. The humidity is quite high, much better. Isn't that amazing? And my hair's not stiff or anything. It doesn't get greasy. They have it in the full size and they have it in a travel size. I always have the travel size in my travel hair bag. This is fantastic. Alrighty, we have moved through skincare and hair care, and now we have gotten to the part I get the most excited about, the beauty products. So to keep things organized, I have broken this down into subcategories, and we're gonna start with complexion products. So let's start with foundations. The one I'm wearing today is the Dior Forever Skin Glow, and I'm wearing it in the shade 2N, which kind of straddles both my natural skin color, which is quite fair, and my summer skin tone, which is what I get from a fake tan. This is tan. This is such a beautiful foundation. It wears beautifully if you like a slight glow. It's the Forever Glow. This is beautiful, especially on mature skin. The other one I reach for kind of interchangeably and I feel has probably a better shade range, and it's what I wear, especially if I know I'm gonna be photographed or going out for like a special occasion, is the Nars, it has a long name, Light Reflecting Foundation. The only thing I don't love is I always get this filthy. And no, I don't wipe down my makeup. Who has time for that? I will list all my shades and all of that down, like I said, in the description box and pinned to the top of the comments. I have it in my summer shade, I have it in my normal skin color shade, and then I can mix them. But one pump, whole face. Now this is light reflecting. So if you do not like a glowy look, if you prefer matte, you will hate this. But if you're looking for something that photographs absolutely beautiful and will make you look radiant and not like you're actually having a hot flash, I love the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation. My most used concealer for my face, for blemishes or discoloration, not under eye. Under eye, it's Tarte, and they just had their 30% off friends and family sale, so that's a way better discount, and it's the Trish McEvoy Instant Eye Lift, which they don't sell here. But for my face, the one that I use the most is also from Dior. It's the Dior Forever Skin Correct, and I have 2 shades. 1N for most of the year, for just my face, and when I fake tan, 2W. These blend seamlessly into your skin. You will never look cakey or heavy. I don't love it under my eyes. I do feel like it gets cakier and heavy there, but for your face to even things out, outstanding. Some powders that I also want to recommend, the Givenchy Prisme Libre Loose Setting Powders. I have it in the shade 1, which is great for setting under eye, and shade 2, which is nice for when I have no tan at all. I would really love to pick up shade 4, and I will share my wish list at the end of this video too, so keep on watching. They do a great job of color correcting, taking down the shine without mattifying. They are loose, and these are the big ones. They do have a mini version available on the Sephora website as well. It's just, they go out of stock very quickly, which is why I have 2 big ones instead of 2 little ones. For setting my under eye, I have a new favorite product, and it is from Westman Atelier, which we're gonna hear about again a little bit later. It is their Vital Pressed Skincare Powder. That is a long name, specifically in the color, and I don't think the color's coming up here, Pink Bubbly. It is the palest pink. It's not gonna show up pink on your skin. You can use a brush. I've actually gotten a little puff and gently patted underneath it. Brightens up under the eyes, sets your concealer so it doesn't crease, it doesn't get cakey. I think this has hyaluronic acid in it too. If you are dealing with mature under eyes, fine lines, and wrinkles under your eyes, and you still want to set your concealer, which you should to prevent more creasing, this is fantastic. It is expensive. This compact is weighty. It is a serious piece of makeup, and it would look actually really nice and pretty out on your makeup table. And if you're thinking of Mother's Day gifts ahead of time, I know this doesn't sound all that exciting, but this thing feels heavy, and I was gonna say looks expensive. It is expensive. This would make a really nice gift for mom, or you could ask it for yourself. Like I mentioned earlier, Sephora does have a lot of the mini or travel sizes of a lot of products, which I really appreciate, because if you want to experiment a little and maybe not commit to the full price of a full size product, you can get a smaller one. And so I recently picked up this Kosas setting powder that everyone is raving about. It's their cloud set. So I got the little one in one of their lighter shades, Breezy. I could probably go up to the next darker shade now that I'm phasing into a fake tan. This lives up to the hype. So if you've done your whole makeup and you're realizing that you still have some shiny patches that maybe this didn't take down, or you just want to touch up in your purse, this powder feels almost like it's cream. It is so lightweight and silky, and it kind of mattifies and adds a little bit of pigment without being cakey. It's incredible. I don't know how Kosas did it, but it's gorgeous. I'm definitely going to pick up the full size. I have one contour stick to recommend. I've been buying this over and over and over in both the mini size and the full size from Westman Atelier. Their contour stick, it has a much longer name. I get it in the shade Biscuit. This is what I use to contour. I contour my cheeks, the sides of my nose, under my jaw. It's so user-friendly. It blends like a dream. I use a brush. I have tried so many other cream contour products and liquid contour products. It makes a muddy mess all over my face. This shade actually works with quite a few skin tones, lighter and darker than mine. This is not for bronzing. This is a cool tone to it. This simulates shadows, which we are not seeing because the sun's coming out. So let me finish talking about this and then I'll adjust my lighting a little bit. But this is fantastic. This is the mini travel size, and I actually just picked up ahead of the sale. I mean, I needed it. I didn't want to wait. I picked up the full size. Love it. I have 2 bronzers to recommend, a cream and a powder. The cream is from Merit Beauty. I've been using this for over a year. It is so user-friendly. It's their Bronze Balm, specifically in the shade Sen. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. What's great about this is it does blend beautifully into the skin. You just kind of draw it on where you want it. I generally just make a line across my forehead, go across the high points of my cheekbones and across my nose, and then use a brush to blend it in. It's a little bit sheer. So it has plenty of pigment to it, but as you blend it in, it's already sheer, so you're not getting stripes on your face, and it just melts into your skin. It's so user-friendly, and if you're traveling, it's great and compact. Now, a little bit of a splurge, the powder bronzer. I've loved it so much. I have bought it twice. It's the Gucci bronzer. Is it my absolute favorite bronzer of all time? No. That is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess bronzer. Why do I love the Gucci one so much? I have it in the shade 1, and that's what I'm wearing today, and the shade 4. Yes, you heard me correctly. Do you see how there's a slight reddish undertone to this? If you're trying to make it look like you have an actual suntan, dare I say maybe even a little bit of a sunburn, like an actual natural occurring from the sun color, which hopefully none of us are getting because that's not good for you. Gucci has really beautiful beautiful red undertones, which is really hard to find. Also, do I love it because it's Gucci and that's just cool and the packaging is exquisite? Also, yes. So highly recommend grabbing this because you can get it a little bit at a discount. Another name that I'm gonna drop that I will admit some of the appeal is the Dior Rosy Glow Blush, specifically pink, although I do wanna pick up cherry. I reach for this probably 50% of the time. The other 50%, my other most used blush is from Tarte, specifically the one called Natural Beauty, but like I said, Tarte just had their 30% off friends and family sale. That was when it was worth picking up the Tarte products. It's a very, as you can see, cool toned, bright pink, but it just, I'm wearing it today. I don't look, I think, frosty or oddly colored. It's so user friendly. There's a reason why we all love the Rosy Glow line. It's just beautiful to wear, and of course it's beautiful packaging too. I don't often wear highlighter anymore. It used to be a staple. I kind of moved away from it, but one that I've actually repurchased and used over and over and I'm wearing today, and I like how subtle it is the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Highlighter. Mine specifically, one side is lightning dust, the other one is fire crystal, but I really only use lightning dust. It's the one that's just a shimmer, not a glitter. This is also great to put in the inner corner of your eyes or even across your lid as an eyeshadow. They have deeper shades if you are blessed with more pigment than I am, which is probably most of you watching. It's just a really nice highlighter. It's not a high ticket item compared to most of the things I'm sharing, but if you're gonna pick up a nice highlighter, I recommend this one. And to set everything in place before we move on to the next category of makeup, this one is brand new to me. It's been recommended by a ton of people, and I have to admit, it is now my favorite as well. It's the Caliray Surf Proof Setting Spray. It's a long wearing. It has some nice properties in it, especially if you have dry skin. You have to shake it up before you spray it. It's just a sprayer. It's not an aerosol. And I will admit, you put this all over your face, the makeup's not gonna budge, but the mist is so fine. You don't feel like you just sprayed your face with hairspray, which can sometimes be a factor with some of those super strong ones. So as we're moving into the summer months and perspiration is an issue, grab this. You will not be disappointed. I've been really impressed with this. Now let's move on to eye products. And I have to admit, I am not the most exciting person to watch when it comes to eyeshadow. I like neutrals. I like variations of cream, tan, and brown. So if you're that kind of person, I've got some stuff for you, as well as mascara and like other things. So let's start from the brows and move down. I recently got my eyebrows laminated and waxed, and I'm here to tell you, save your money, at least on the laminating part, and just pick up the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze Gel. Not the pot, the gel. It is amazing. Amazing. And even though I got my eyebrows laminated, I still wake up every morning and they're pointing in 7 million different directions. So clearly it didn't work. But this is not laminated brows. This is the work of this Brow Freeze Gel. It is so user-friendly. Big tip here, wipe off the sides of the brush before you apply, because a little of this is really all you need. And your brows, not gonna budge all day, all night. Let's move on to the lid. So I have one liquid or cream eyeshadow to recommend to you. I've been using this one for a really long time. It's the Armani liquid eyeshadow. Specifically, I love the shade, I think it's called Cold Copper, which is sometimes hard to find. For a single product, it is a little bit pricey, so I'm glad that you can get it at Sephora when they're offering anywhere from 10 to 20% off. I haven't tried any of the other shades, but I love this one just all over the lid with maybe a little bronzer in the crease, and you are good to go. However, if you want a full palette, I'm gonna start with the smallest one, the newest one, the one I'm the most excited about. I've been wearing nonstop since I picked it up. It's from Ilia, and it's their Necessary Eyeshadow Palette. Now they have two colors. I have the more purple toned one, don't love it, but this warm neutrals, is it? Or warm nude? I know it doesn't look like a lot. That's the point. It's what I have on. You can go crazy and really deepen it up and pack it on, have a very dramatic look, or I prefer something a little more everyday with a touch of glam. And so I focused really on these two and this shade here. It is so user-friendly. I really just like this matte shade all over my eyelids, and then curl my lashes, throw on mascara, which we'll talk about in a minute. I can add a little bit of the light shimmer over here, which I have done. You can use these darker shades to deepen or to use as liner. All in one, everything you're gonna need if you like warm neutrals, but not too warm that they're not gonna turn orange on you. Love this one. Now, Two other palettes that I reach for more than any of my other ones. They're both from Natasha Denona. I would say this is the second runner-up. The Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. Like I said, I like my nudes, I like my neutrals. It has a great selection of wearable mattes and shimmers. It's absolutely beautiful. I would say if you are deeper toned, I don't think this is the best option. So for the best option, I would say my favorite Natasha Denona palette, although I do love this one, has to be the Glam palette. This one has cool tones, neutral tones, warm tones, a little bit of all the things, the most travel friendly, everything you could possibly need and then some to create every look you could possibly want to do. So I absolutely love it, and it's not outrageously expensive to begin with for the quality and amount of shadows that you get, and then again, obviously the discount helps. And I love the super big mirror, especially for traveling. And then as far as mascara goes, I swear by this, I never skip a day. The Lancome Faux Seals Lash Primer. Whatever mascara you're using, whether it's a tubing mascara, a normal mascara, a waterproof mascara, this conditions your lashes, separates your lashes, and makes every mascara work better, especially if you're worried about smudging or flaking. This pretty much guarantees it's not gonna happen. And it also helps your lashes, I think, grow better. My favorite normal mascara, traditional non-tubing, I just went and repurchased it again in the full size, is the One Size Fantasize mascara. It's what I'm wearing here, just one coat. It is incredible. Recommend this. However, my personal favorite mascara to wear every day, and even for special occasions, is the Tartelette Tubing Mascara, which, like I mentioned, you could have picked up last week at 30% off. However, they have released a new, even more like Tartelette XL, like I think it's more dramatic, longer lashes. I myself forgot to actually shop the Tarte sale. So it's sitting in my cart waiting for the Sephora sale to kick in, so at least I can get it at 15% off. I should say that I have a permanent Tarte discount code at the Tarte website for 15% off all the time, which is one of those reasons why I'm saying the Sephora sale isn't always worth it, but we'll get to that. Just let's get to the end of it and let's get to the lip products. Then we'll get into a little bit of the tea. So I could do a whole video just on lip products. I'm gonna walk you through a few really quickly. Lip liners. Didn't always love lip liners, didn't always see a need for lip liners. As I've aged, my lips have sort of disappeared into my face. So I love a lip liner, but I don't love the bother of having to reapply a lip liner. And then I found this one. This is the Hourglass Shape and Sculpt lip liner. You put this one on, it's sticking, not going anywhere until you take your lipstick off. It works through meals, and I like the shade Flaunt 2. I've lined my whole lips with this and filled them in. And then over that is one of my favorite lipsticks I never really talk about. It's the Giorgio Armani, I think it's the Longwear Satin Lipstick. I have the shade 300 and 500. I'm wearing 300 today. It's a beautiful lipstick. A few other lipsticks I wanna mention. My absolute favorite cream lipstick, hands down, and this isn't crazy expensive to begin with, but we'll just lump it in with the whole discount. The Lawless Beauty lipsticks are beautiful, and my most worn shade is probably Daisy Girl. And I love the packaging, and I love that it stays shut like that in your purse. Sticking with Lawless Beauty, what I wear more often instead of a cream lipstick these days is their tinted balms. There's so many. I will list all the shades. This like slightly pinkish lavender one is my probably most reached for, specifically paired with one of their Forget the Filler lip glosses. These are amazing. There's a slight cooling and tingle, but nothing like those crazy lip injection ones. They're very wearable. You gotta be a little careful. There's been some videos where a few of you have said, ew, your lipstick is, your lips are doing those like marionette line things with the strings. So see how it gets a little goopy? So make sure you wipe it off in the tube before you apply. I'm gonna put a little on over this. It's so pretty. They have sheer options. I like the more pigmented options, and they last a long time on the lips, so I love those. And then I have to recommend these 3 Dior products. There's actually 4. One is buried in a purse somewhere and I haven't found it. So I'll mention that one first. It's the Dior Shine, I think, Addict lipsticks. I love them. I think they're beautiful. My favorite shade is Rose Celestial, and I love that you can pick a different packaging. So for the actual tube, like this part has different options. So if you're thinking about a gift, that would make a really beautiful Mother's Day gift or even a graduation gift for a young woman, and they're refillable. So you keep the case and then you just order the bullet part when you want a new one. This one is the Lip Glow Reviver Balm, and my favorite shade is just the basic pink 001. I love a balm, especially in the warmer months, and I love layering it under one or both of these. Originally, it was the Lip Maximizer, again, in the shade 001 Pink. It's just so pretty. These two layered together, even worn alone, it just makes your lips look your lips, but way better. And then I have to admit, I've tried the dupes. I'm sorry, I've never been gifted one of these. I just keep buying them. The Dior Lip Glow Oil, again, pink is my favorite. Cherry, I would say, is my second favorite. There's just something exceptionally beautiful about these, and they do wear better. The original formula just goes on glossier, more smoothly, and it's why I'm just gonna have to keep recommending the original Dior and not any of the dupes. Well, if you've made it this far, then you absolutely deserve to hear why I think the Sephora sale is not necessarily worth it. So like I've alluded to a bunch of times, specific brands will have discounts on their own website that far surpasses even the highest 20% off. Like I said, Tarte did, they're 30% off. And for the rest of us who, most of us are not Rouge level spenders, we're getting either the 15% off or the 10% off. That barely covers the tax. And a lot of us have discount codes like me for Tarte all the time for 15% off. And for those of us that prefer to shop at, say, Ulta or Nordstrom or some of the other department stores, during this period of time, many retailers that sell makeup and cosmetics in general will match the prices that Sephora is offering, sometimes higher than the discount you could get at Sephora. I would say the only advantage to the Sephora sale is, one, if you're a Rouge member, and you get that 20% off. Generally, that's a pretty good discount. Secondly, if you don't have the time or you just don't want to sit and hunt out each individual retailer and product, and you just, 15%, 10%, it's fine for you. You can get it done. The shipping is quick. I get it. It's easier to just shop all of it at once at Sephora. So I do have a very short shopping list of what I'm still wanting to pick up during the Sephora sale, because I am kind of a little bit lazy and I'd rather just get it all in one place and be done with it than hunt for the individual discounts. So what is still sitting in my cart, I mentioned the Tarte Tartelette XL Mascara. Also the new Supergoop Protectant. It's a tinted SPF, and I know I've been talking about sharing my thoughts on what the best tinted SPF is. Let me try this one and then I'll make the video. The Rare Beauty blushes, I've seen at least pictures of them. They are stunning. I want either Cheer or Hope, or maybe both. And finally, the Fenty Body Sauce. It is basically body makeup for your arms, your legs. If you just want to look a little more tan, maybe if your fake tan is fading or getting a little patchy, I have heard great things about that. So that is sitting in my cart waiting for the sale to start as well. Whew, that was a lot of product to get through. Thanks for sticking around to the very end. I really appreciate you. Please do not hesitate to ask if you have any questions about any of these products. I threw a lot of stuff at you. Totally understand if I didn't cover all the things you wanted to hear about. Thanks for hanging out. I hope that you had fun. Hopefully a few things piqued your interest, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.